Good morning, everyone. Today we will look at the foundation for a happy married life. So, when you go to a marriage function, every one of us will wish the couple happy married life, isn't it? So, how this happy married life happens? Just by marriage? No. There is a need for the couple to make it happy, work towards make it happy. And let's see how. When we say marriage, so we have gone through different aspects of marriage, from choosing a partner to expectations to what kind of problems and how to work through solving and what not in the previous cycle. So today mainly we'll focus on adjustments in the initial years of the marriage. When it is just a couple, how the adjustment happens, especially in Indian settings where arranged and traditional marriages are still preferred to be the choice. Yes, people who are also open for love marriages. So we'll look into that aspect as completely a different topic at a later point. But here, irrespective of whether it is a love marriage or an arranged marriage, here we are looking at the kind of adjustments or something like a foundation that the couple need to work towards a happy married life. So this is like a foundation that you put for your beautiful home, where the couple, with the help of significant other families, work towards. So happy marriage is made. It is not just, happens. So you need to work to make your marriage happy. And let us look at the important aspects related to that today. Here, when ones get married, so here, with the rapid cultural as well as technological changes, it is also affecting the stability of the family or the home or the family as a system. So here, the couple mainly, whether they have chosen a kind of a traditional way of value system where the role relationships are mainly based on what is expected culture wise, or they have chosen a mutually open kind of role relationships, who will play what role, where the couple has a choice and they are able to choose on their own. So the relation depends on what kind of system that the couple is choosing or be in, or they are in. So in case of a closed system where there is a kind of culture, value system or traditions where the roles of a kind of wife and husband are kind of already expected from the social or the cultural perspective, the kind of relationship is different from an open system where the couple has more choice in their personal development and in their style of working through, where the communication plays a very major role when the couple is choosing an open system. So these are the aspects that we are going to discuss in today's session, looking at it from a little more scientific perspective or psychological perspective. We also discussed that there is a critical developmental psychological stage, or there are a set of psychological needs in a family that are important to be made at different developmental stages. So if those who has followed my previous videos can see that we have divided the developmental psychological needs into just the couple, or family with school going children, family with newborns, family with the middle-aged couple, and so on. So here in the developmental aspect, if you look from a developmental perspective, here mainly the need is the development of intimacy. So we are not looking at intimacy as a narrow term of developing a kind of a sexual kind of relationship. It is more than that. The kind of communication, the kind of understanding, the kind of compromises and adjustments, and the kind of mutual sharing. See, when couples are kind of moving into a kind of from individual to a couple, the main focus is on the relationship. So the needs are invariably bound towards a mutual kind of needs to be met. So the family system is meant to meet some common needs, important common needs, as the social scientist has described. So it is like the mutual common needs that are met by this marriage as a system. Social system, we are looking at it, where there are common functions of religion, common functions of kind of regulation of the sexual relationship, and nurturing and child rearing kind of issues. So these are some of the ways that a social scientist look at. From the psychological perspective, it is more the establishment of intimate relationship in terms of communication, in terms of mutual understanding, in terms of adjustments to be made in the initial years of the marriage. So when we are looking at a kind of traditional kind of arranged kind of a marriage, where the couple starts to know each other more only after marriage, even though they take some time before marriage, after engagement, but still the living together is altogether a different matter than being in a courtship, irrespective of whether it's a love marriage or an arranged kind of setup. So here, once the couple start living together, if they are into a traditional kind of living with the in-laws and parental joint family kind of a system, or the couple living alone. So here, when it is already a kind of system where they are living with the significant other family members or the parents, here there are adjustments to be made in terms of they may not have much choice in terms of the food choices, or in terms of making adjustments with already established patterns of functioning of the family in terms of daily routine. And then there is some amount of the kind of preparation background also. This intimacy also is a foundation for the next developmental stage, geared towards more of the next stage of parenthood or child rearing. So most of the traditional families look for a kind of value system where this is how it is done in our families kind of a situation. So here the development of the couple in their careers, or if they are still academically they are students, the choice is usually limited in a closed or traditional kind of a system. And in an open system where the couple chooses their own roles and relationship, the communication plays a very, very major role. So here, the kind of choices that one make, who will take what role, whether it is helping around the kitchen or the child related, whatever the financial or home setups that are required, and who will play what role. in completing the functions rather than how much each one is playing. So the conflicts come into picture, or the stress starts building up when the question comes as to who is doing how much. So it's not about the how much. As a couple together, are you able to fulfill the functions required for a kind of for a happy relationship? Matters a lot. That's the basic foundation that we need to look at. So here again, adjusting from the individual to the couple in terms of the personal space, in terms of the sharing, in terms of ability to express one's affection, and all these things come into picture when it is an open system, while the traditional system is more or less kind of known, this is how it will happen kind of a thing. So here there are advantages and disadvantages in both the system, which we will look at a little later. So coming back to the developmental need, mainly irrespective of whatever the system is, the intimacy, the understanding, and the communication, which is more required in an open system and also required in a traditional system, but the choices are usually seem to be less if the elders or the parental figures has their own way of looking at different aspects of the family functioning. So moving on with what functions a newlywed couple, what kind of functions a family plays. Again, here, like I said, the relationship, the intimate relationship or the adjustment of the couple to each other is the first step. And also it is the foundation for the next step of becoming parents. Again, from a socially, social perspective, looking at the psychological perspective here, again, getting to know each other, and then like we have discussed, usually it is the opposites that attract, where especially when the couple is an young couple in their 20s and 25s, usually they choose a partner who has completely opposite kind of personality characteristics in search of completing themselves. So which is considered to be more of an unconscious need. Here again, unaware of this need, the couple generally try to reaffirm the other partner. Like if a person is an extrovert and a very socially expressive person, the other person is an introvert person, invariably the choosing has already happened. They are into the wedlock, and then the extrovert person might look at this person, why the person is not trying to be part of the social group, and these kind of things might become the areas of stress. So here, when it comes to the personality, mainly these are the personality aspects, the characteristics in the partner, where the other person tries to, each partner tries to pull the other person towards stabilizing their own personality, while they have chosen a person who is completely opposite in their characteristics. So here, this kind of adjustment can grow, or the better adjustment can happen when they are able to communicate, when they are able to effectively understand the need for accommodation and compromising for each other's needs. So initial stages of marriage are bound by the attraction, more of a physical attraction, but the actual stability of the relationship happens more as they are understanding each other, as they are able to accommodate to each other's needs and working through a kind of healthy patterns or healthy adjustments towards meeting their needs. So mainly the functions are around an intimacy, communication, adjustment to the other family members, important family members. And then here again, if it is a traditional system, again, one need to adjust to the food patterns and the choices, lifestyle choices. And there may not be much possibility of flexibility if there is already an established system, unless the couple chooses to move on with a kind of open system or establish their own home, which in some of the traditions may not be considered to be a kind of culturally acceptable. But in present situations, most of the families seem to be open for this kind of couple establishing their own family, which gives them more choice, and their functioning is more in terms of their personality development and their individual choices in functioning of the home and choosing their roles. So again, there are advantages and disadvantages. In a traditional family, the choice is less, and there can be a kind of limitation or inhibition in their individual expressions, while in an open system, it is more bound towards helping the couple working through their personal choices, be it education, or be it career, or be it the relationship with their family. So other important aspect that plays an important role here is the roles that they have played in their family, in their original families, family of origin, where the kind of decision making, the kind of roles that they have played, and then the kind of communication, all these indirectly, not indirectly, they will directly start affecting the way that they are functioning as a couple. So they are not only coming with whatever the material benefits or feeling of being settled after marriage, but there are other hereditary things that can come in. So what we are looking at is only a normal couple. But if the couple is coming with some conditions, with an anxiety background or a depression background, or some other psychological, or have gone through a difficult childhood, so again the adjustments depend based on that the way that they have coped as a growing up children in their family of origin. So all these influence the couple in their performing of the functions after marriage. So this is about a minor description on the kind of functions of a newlywed couple. And then we will look into the kind of communication. So the importance of communication, as I reaffirmed, the importance of communication comes into as a major challenge when it comes to an open system where the couple is not so much bound to the social or value kind of system, and also keeping the rapid social changes, technological changes, and the outside changing factors also affect the couple relationships. And then the communication plays a very, very important role here. So the communication of different needs, the communication of the roles, the communication of doing the household related, the communication related to sexual matters, the communication related to future plans and money matters, finances, in every aspect where the couple as a relationship, they form this firm ground for the future, happy married life. So in all these, the communication plays a very, very vital and significant role. So here, other than the communication, the accommodations, the mutual understanding, and then again, the kind of gender roles, Generally, in a traditional system, the gender roles of the wife maintains the home and takes care of the children, while the husband takes care of the financial and providing kind of a role. And then I think with the present situation, it is more of a mixed group rather than completely open or completely traditional system. So, but there are complete open kind of choices made by the couples where there can be some disadvantages in terms of inability to handle the diverse needs, or inability to handle the kind of autonomy, or the kind of loneliness that one goes through, and the child care needs. So where the couple chooses to live on their own, the planning towards child care, so looking for other support systems outside, the safety. So all these factors, one should be able to plan ahead in order to move on for forming this foundation. So this is just a basic sketch of what is important in a newlywed couple and what makes the foundation for a happy married life. And in summary, we are looking at the foundation for a happy marriage as to the kind of roles the kind of system of living that one is choosing, an open system or a traditional value-bound system. And then more or less in a traditional system, the individual development is not so much of the focus. It is more of a group kind of a well-established kind of cultural system, whereas the individual potentials and individual growth in terms of their career or in terms of their personal choices, even in terms of the kind of child rearing that one chooses, is more in the open kind of system the couple chooses. So whatever the system may be, the communication is the major aspect to develop an intimate relationship that forms the foundation for a happy home. Thank you all. Happy weekend. See you next week.